late happy Halloween to everybody. This will be SA17's review volume 11, Dead Space for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Dead Space is a survival horror slash third person shooter. Don't forget it's a rail shooter as well. It was developed by VG, Visceral Games, and published by Electronic Arts, and was released on October 14th of last year. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know jack about this game, period, until the day it was released. I rented it at Blockbuster 7 months ago. Didn't get a chance to finish it. 7 months later, I bought it at a GameStop at a military base and beat it. How do I feel about it? Stick around to find out. Pros and cons of Dead Space. I'm going to start out with the cons since it's very short. Dead Space solo campaign should have been a little bit longer. 12 chapters, I understand, but could it went to at least 13 or 14 chapters with more boss characters and stuff like that. I would like to see that more. Close combat, it's terrible. Developers should do something about that. Make Isaac Clarke a little bit more flexible. Is the game repetitive? Yeah, to a certain degree. But last I checked, every single video game is. If you don't think that, you've been smoking crack. Let's get that out of the way. Pros, I have a lot to say about this game. The storyline is fantastic. It's about a crew that goes to a space station called USG Ishimura. It's malfunctioned. And to check it out, they find out that something's wrong with it, and most of them have been killed off or been infected with a virus that transforms them into a grotesque monsters that call themselves necromorphs. Necromorphs is a alien organism that feeds off the dead and uses them to tear each other in half or whatever. Gamers take control of the main protagonist, Isaac Clarke. He doesn't have any special powers. The suit does. But he gets the job done, and that's what it counts. He squares off against the necromorphs and mini bosses, Leviathan, and so on. It's up to Isaac Clarke to try to figure out what's wrong, and he gets separated from the team and so forth, while necromorphs are killing off most or not of all the crew. The heads-up display, aka the HUD, is not in this game. Developers put in the holographic projections. You have to click the right analog stick. It'll draw up a little line to tell you where you go and stuff like that, which is really, really cool, and I like that a lot. It makes it easier for gamers. It has RPG elements in this game, such as suits, weapons, rigs, and like a health bar in the back of the suit, and all other things. Now, the weapons is just... I love the weapons. It's crazy. And upgrading them, wow. It makes them even more powerful than before. Plasma cutter, line gun, ripper, contact beam. Those are my favorite weapons on Dead Space. Excuse me. The enemies are challenging to kill off, and I love challenge. I love a challenge. I mean, if you upgrade the weapons, they're too easy, even in the hardest difficulty. And the developers put into the gameplay strategic dismemberment. You have to blow their arms and legs off, and it's a must in order to kill off the necromorphs and save ammo at the same time. Don't shoot them in the chest. It's not going to work. That goes with the head. It's not going to work. Now, the graphics, they're excellent. I really like it a lot. So, there's nothing wrong with the graphics. So, now, it took me about 12 hours to complete this game. You'll face some diverse puzzles, stages, mini bosses, boss monsters who are fun to go up against. They're just great. What else I can say? The music of the game is great. Absolutely great. And this game will scare the living bejesus out of you. I mean, it'll scare you so much. Oh, I just can't tell you. This game will scare you to death. Unlike Resident Evil 5, players can actually aim, shoot, and walk at the same time. A lot of people had complaints about Resident Evil 5. You can't move, and shoot, and walk at the same time. You have to stand still while shooting. Let me put it to you like this. Resident Evil 5 is about, when it comes to gunplay, you have to stand there and shoot. It's all about accuracy. Dead Space, not so much. Not so much. So, what do I think about Dead Space? It's the best survival horror game I have ever played. I never ever played a survival horror game until Dead Space. So, it has a combination of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, rolling into a ball. I know that Electronic Arts, aka EA, makes some bad games from time to time, but you gotta give it up. You gotta give credit where credit is due. They made a classic survival horror game. Okay? And I played it on Halloween, and it's great. My verdict, excellent. Excellent game, but couple things holds it back from being perfect, the masterful masterpiece, whatever you want to call it. So, if I had to give it a score, it'd be between 9.5 out of 10, but it'll be excellent verdict. If you're a survival horror fan and you're skeptic of this game, rent the game, borrow it from a friend. But if you are a fan of the series, just trying to get into it, go ahead and buy it. So, and with that, SA17, I'm out. Thanks for logging in and listening what I have to say. Peace.